Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round one of the Belief Elite National Touch Series here in Banbury. It is perfect weather, perfect conditions for touch rugby, and we've got two fantastic days lined up for you. And this morning we get underway with our first game, which will be Wigan Touch Warriors against Exeter Raptors. Well, let's just tell you a bit more about the tournament. There is three different categories, of course. We have the Elite Pool, the Premiership and the Championship. And the Elite Pools are split into four groups. So in Elite Pool A, we do have Bareback Warriors, Wigan Touch Warriors and Thames Valley Vikings. In Elite Pool B, we have Galaxy London, CSSE London and Nottingham Hoods. In Elite Pool C, Hot Custard, Exeter Raptors and Crewe and Natwich. In Elite Pool D, Cambridge Hornets, Oxford and Chester Cheetahs. So the way it will work is the group fixtures. It will be Pool A group against Pool C and then Pool B against Pool D. And there is a lot of fantastic sides in all the groups. And this one, our first game, is going to be an absolute cracker. Wigan Touch Warriors against Exeter Raptors. And just a reminder, we'll be focusing all our attention on pitch number one. There is 4 pitches in total going on around the Banbury Rugby Club, but all our attention will be on pitch number one. And we do have 9 games for you throughout the day, so do stay with us. We've got 9 absolute cracking games for you all the way. So our first game will be Wigan Touch Warriors versus Exeter Raptors. We'll take a look at both sides and the teams in just a few minutes. So yes, our first game this morning here on pitch number one will be Wigan Touch Warriors against Exeter Raptors. It should be an absolutely fascinating game. Wigan Touch Warriors, well, they were the Elite Plate winners in the first round last year in Nottingham, and I'm sure they'd love to go one better and win the Elite Cup. Whereas Exeter Raptors, well, they are a brand new side this year. They're making their first appearance in the Elite National Touch Series, but they have got a lot of fantastic players based from the University of Exeter, and they won the National Uni Touch Series as well, so they will be a formidable side in the Elite Pool stages. But just going through a couple of the sides, so the Wigan Warriors Touch Club, they are scattered with England Men's Open players, and they have a new recruit as well in the shape of Ben Meeking. Toby Phillips was also a new recruit as well, but unfortunately won't be taking any part this weekend as he suffered an injury. But just looking at some of the names, Joshua Ingram, Jordan Melling, Gabriel Pennington, and Nola Quinn, who's from the mixed 30s, who's also a new player for the Wigan Warriors this weekend as well. So they've got a fantastic side on show. And the Exeter Raptors, well, they have Ewan Armstrong, who's in the England Mixed Opens as well. But apart from that, a lot of fantastic uni players who will be looking to make a mark in their first round of the Belief Elite National Touch Series Round 1. So just a little bit more context in terms of what it means of where you finish in the elite pools, if we focus on that this morning. So if you finish first and second in the groups, you go into the Elite Cup quarter-finals, and if you lose that quarter-final, you'll then enter the Elite Plate. And then if you do finish third, you will be going into the Premiership Cup quarter-final in the elite pool stages. So all teams will be playing at least 3 games on each day, so 6 games in total. But of course, the more you win, the further you progress, the more games you play, and you'll be up for the trophies as well, which will be all tomorrow, which will be very exciting stuff indeed. But just a few basic housekeeping, a few notes to be aware of. So 40 minutes for the games, 5-minute break in between, so 20 minutes a half. Of course, each team 6 players and rolling substitutions, of course, throughout the game. And then 6 touches, so change of possession if you are touched 6 times, and then the opposing team will have the chance to attack. And then basically the way you win the game is by scoring those tries, and you get 1 point for each try. And then the positions on the pitch, they sort of look like this. So you'll have 6, obviously 6 in each team. You have the 2 middle players, then the 2 links and the 2 wing players. So going across from the middle to out wide. But yes, looking at the fixture list, we've got some unbelievable games coming up for you. So the first 3, all elite pool games. So first up, of course, Wigan Touch Warriors against Exeter Raptors. And then next up, the Bareback Riders, I should say, against Hot Custard in the second game, and then Nottingham Hoods against Chester Cheetahs. Those are your first 3 matches this morning. And then looking ahead, so the Belief Elite National Touch Series is split up into 3 rounds. So of course this weekend we are based in Banbury, and then we'll go over to Manchester over the weekend of the 15th and 16th of June, and then we'll finish up in Oxford on the 29th and 30th of June. But a couple of sides who if you are an England touch rugby fanatic, you will be noticing who are not playing over this weekend. There is a couple of teams who are not making the trip up, but I'm sure there is lots of teams in this competition who will be eyeing up to win the Elite Cup. This year people are saying it's a very wide open tournament. Anyone could really win this. Bareback Riders are the champions from round 1 in last year in Nottingham. They won the Elite Cup. Can they retain their title? We'll have to wait and see. And of course, talking about Exeter Raptors as one of the new sides this year, we also have Revolution, a team based in the Midlands. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing them on the stream today, but they will be taking part in round 1. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with all the games going on around the fields, around each pitch, and we'll keep you reliably informed of what all the scores and what they all mean in each pool and how those teams will line up in the quarter-finals. We're only months away from much of the Belief Elite National Touch Series here in Banbury. Is Wigan Touch Warriors against Exeter. My name is Brad. Delighted to say that I'm going to be from England. Chris, next day this morning.
It's really good morning. It's we went a couple of last weekend to get National Touch Series away, as always, adds a little bit more of a frisson of excitement, so to speak, especially coming back from a really successful World Cup in England.
Yeah, just tell us a bit more about that success in Malaysia. Must have been out there.
Hot, humid, and you'll hear that a weekend as we get the players in the chair and to give you an insight into the games, go outside to the sport as we are. But it was a proper once in a lifetime thing. It's something that tell you even in 4 years' time the tournament would be too large to Malaysia. So this the tough happens with Exeter to 11, but it was a proper one, and I was delighted.
So you're actually in our first Raptors
to attack the stretch win and to tell us it's like a university bust. It's traditional university ties into the elite national touch series club tournaments. Win. They're going to have a win out with this. It was a good start there for Exeter.
It certainly was. And we get on the changeover. If you look at their side, so many players. We go to the spots. Previously mentioned a new recruit who is in the starting six. Come Exit through the middle.
Going to be really good for Mexico. Getting the ball out and bringing on into the move there. Drops in touch. So there's only stay on for about 90 seconds and then work really hard and then off. And what we see the team is we see Joe
looking off first try, falling on just that.
Yeah, that's Max Ducor, so it's a risk attack for Wigan. But what we've seen, well, the attack from Exeter was good. What we've seen there is early pushing all from Challenge all the 7 years. And, experience has got down. So we know where it's really good.
It's a lively start for them. Nearly first try of the morning.
And this is the first error from Exeter, which has been themselves under a lot of pressure on there. Really on foot with the ball. And we'll see what you're going to hear. Are going to look to try and put the same play a couple of times and try something different for a touchdown.
They compare meeting routes, 5 metre line.
So with Jacob Melling dive for the impact, he can keep it really tight there. And then we've got third coming up now. I see Jacob on a sweeper. He dive for the line, so that's the 6. So they tried something a little bit different with move there. So it's what's called conditioning. And we're trying to defend the thing going forward, trying to encourage them to preempt something different.
We're coming to once again halfway. Quick pass, 10 to the time. We've done stretch early on, a couple of minutes.
That's given. That's really big there. You and I'm just open teams. Ball at Hebrew now. He got, but he's gone at the end of the end zone. He a little bit and found the something. Got the ball just as he's about to get, and then dived in for the touchdown there. That's a really bit of play there from the Exeter team to do that, because the scoring and as they got it to get that as well. So really nice score from there.
Superb play in Exeter. First try of the morning. The love piece of. He's given it from Wigan. That was a lovely piece of defence. That
was for the previous one. There was a really good touch ball. One time around in bang.
Very quick and two hits. And that's a by going through middle with number 10 for Exeter. Edward Haydel and number 14. Nice and quick.
Whether that was a touch, there's a second terms of as a touch. See that's been given as a heavy touch there with the second one. So which is a minimal contact sport, and we'll see sometimes we'll just kind of a bit of a break just for the to get a player on for that after to get some. And what we're seeing, first touch that commits heavy, and by that it's the mix side in particular is the big overrun the fouls. This is one of the key things.
It certainly is. Anyone can take part. Mixed sides, and it was a very heavy touch. In the just previous passage play, 5 metres.
So down, but it was played out by Wigan players. So you saw referee named his hand above his head. That indicates a 6. There's no penalty for deliberate touchdown. But Exeter didn't really win with their previous set. They just Wigan. But this is where the difference experience comes in, because Wigan line out as they have it's the case. So now are just going to try and do a little bit on their own and try and get Wigan to bite.
Yeah, certainly taking the time. And a lovely piece of skill. And waiting for the referee. And it is Exeter's second. And that was a piece of play.
Hooray, nice there. I think Challenge Rhino
is. Look at that. That's a perfect tilt. And going up after 7.
Jacob Meng was whether that ball had gone forward, but I think it looked absolutely intuitive. That's touch isn't you don't see massive amounts at level. We might see more from this team because they're more university players. You didn't do them. You have to but really good the ball. Especially there. And that's defending, and that's exactly what it is.
Back in the fence solid. But the corner. Here he goes. Lovely pass through.
So I think where touch is a sport with a lot of contrast and pace. So what we'll see now with Wigan is they will put a lot of pace through the middle, try and get and put her on the back foot. And what we saw then is the Exeter team really slowing it down, and what's called a Mexican standoff. They're trying to force Wigan to make the touch 6-7 metres out from the goal line, and at this level they're going to then get called back to the way to call the offside. what they then do, you then it's a really acceleration thing there. Didn't work in that age, but see that quite a lot. This tournament goes on. Actually, in the afternoon, there'll be, as I say, it'll be quite a desk in there. But we're trying to do that in there.
So we have Wigan on the final line, looking to get back into this. And there's Exeter uses a brilliant play as we're a minute away from the 10-minute march. Done it. Just a glancing touch.
That's the second. They're now penalty penning men's only mate goes through. And that's exactly what they want to achieve with that. Pull them into go for it, and they've gone through the middle. And I was talking about conditioning earlier on. You see the Exeter defensive winger has come in because she's worried that they're going to come through the middle. It's left the winger right. And one of the mixes is the winger and girls. And if you're watching for the time just learning about and you're just coming, it just shows the importance of having a winger who can catch. Because at the level is if you can 55, which is interesting. If you can get base, score that, that's then going to create in the middle. The boy go through the middle because you've got to defend the winger.
So it was there. So she had the space and a piece of play. Back to 2 apiece. After this being a fascinating game, and we thought it would be. We could Exeter do real sides in the English setup, and here come Exeter once again. It's that number 51 for Exeter.
As Exeter look to stretch around and go round the outside, so they're looking to play a little bit more rugby. And the good thing today is what we've seen so far from the 4 tries. We've seen 2 which you would classify classic touch. So the last Wigan one and the first Exeter one. We've seen one which wouldn't look out of place in any form of rugby. It was Wigan's first, and the Exeter second one was just a piece of individual backing it up. So we're seeing a really good, not clash of styles here, but we're seeing a really good bit of sport from both teams. It shows the importance of having a wing on that to run eyes and then sort of
quickly get to the first half. The 3-2 minutes got it there, goes to the middle, leaving the still think they've been covered out. Count.
This is mind. The ones with noises in the players are when you can see through the middle because they're being pulled apart. The players going if the ability to go wide to spot and they ignore for today. You just want to see them. Let us see you want to look that we got the
was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the need to forget what's there in the defence. The biggest anticipating going to come in just over there in time. So you see, we can defend it close, just not enough to the ring corner.
As 13 mark again, touch to go.
Jordan, the 2 men. That is good. Jordan. That will be much over the course of the.
And looking at what they're just going to pass right on occasion, but Edwin trying to go up to the target, the points. That's right.
Middle.